What are you in the 1% of? If I shake my head in a certain way, I can give myself an orgasm. Never met anyone who can do that. I'm one of only 1,300 board certified sexual assault nurse examiners for the adult and adolescent population in the world. I think tit-tat it's 2%, but I'm a ginger. I can stop my hiccups on command. I'm naturally ambidextrous. Apparently that's something only 1% of people naturally are. I can use both right and left hands ably for any task. For example, I often switch which hand I write with, based on how I'm sitting. It's worth noting, natural ambidexterity is not the same as learned or acquired ambidexterity. For example, left-handed people often have to use things designed for right-handed people, but otherwise are left-handed. I'm of the 0.002% of people with osteopoikilosis. This freaked the shit out of me, because when I was diagnosed the first thing the doctor said was, "Wow, I've never seen this in anything but textbooks before." I've represented my country in the Paralympic Games. I have A blood type. Less than 1% of the world's population have it. Not me but my dad. He was born with a backwards heart and didn't find out till his heart attack a few years ago, and it actually saved his life. His doctor later told him that, after being a doctor for over 30 years, he'd never seen someone with a backwards heart, and that apparently 1% of people on the planet have it. I'm diagnosed with visual snow syndrome. Basically seeing through static. It may not be rare as thought, but I'm one of very few people to be formally diagnosed. Edit. 1. No, this isn't normal, and sorry to all the people who found out they had VVS through my stupid Reddit comment lol. 2. Lots of PPL asked how I was diagnosed. I was at an eye specialist for an unrelated reason, and he asked if I had any other concerns. I described my sight to him, and he said that's probably VVS. He referred me to a neurologist and she diagnosed me. 3. I don't remember not seeing flickering dots. I've never done psychedelics. I was unaware drugs could worsen or cause it. Thanks for the warnings though. Definitely won't be doing psychedelics now, haha. I have a double gene mutation that makes me highly resistant or even immune to the HIV virus. Far less than 1% of people make their living creating crossword puzzles. I've also written 5 novels, 3 of which were published. Hyperhidrosis. Excessively sweaty armpits for no reason. I could be sitting there completely at ease and sweat rolls down my sides from my pits. I have found a product to fix the issue, however I know no one else who has the same issue personally. Cancer survivor. Think that's 5%. I had it 3 fucking times. I have situs inversus. I went to the hospital a few years ago for something else, and they told me I had this rare condition. All my organs are on the opposite side that they normally would be. It doesn't affect me in any way, just a cool switcheroo. I'm albino. Not as interesting or cool as others, but I'm in the 1% of the population that has no immunity to rubella, even though I've been vaccinated for it several times. Apparently some people's bodies don't take to some vaccinations. Fine with everything else like mumps, measles, etc. It's just the rubella. I've also got type 2 Duane syndrome in my right eye. Duane's being a uncommon eye condition anyway, right eye being least common to have it, and type 2 the least common of its type out of the 3 types. Won the Duane's lottery with that one. So apparently my left eye is 32 millimeters. The average size is 27 millimeters. My eye doctor said it was neat. I survived childhood cancer. I think just getting it at all is pretty rare. Everyone is born with a space in the base of your skull. I have an enlarged space. The doctor called it an enlarged asterisk CISTERNAMAGNA asterisk. Having it isn't what makes me part of the 1%. It's the fact that it hasn't caused me any trouble or neurological issues that puts me there. It was only found when I had an MRI for migraines. Edit. Totally got the wrong wording. I'm sorry for misleading anyone that came on the back of flu meds and little sleep. I have stress-induced migraines and hormonal ones too. Nothing to do with the lack of brain function, that just makes me a little dull. I'm one of only at 200 deaf pilots in the world, and one of only 4 that are commonly known of in the world with commercial and instrument training. I'm also one of the only deaf people who hold both a pilot's license and a commercial driver's license. The binding of ISARC. As of now, exactly 1% of players have all 637 achievements on Steam. I'm a totally in the 0.2% of something. People who have a rather nasty reaction to the blood thinner, heparin. Lost half my toes because of how lucky I am. Guitar Hero. I was a world ranked player back when it was more popular and won every tournament I ever attended. Edit. For people that are interested, I'm Xpander Jesks on Scorer Hero. I was mainly competitive in GH3. At one point, I was tied for, or held 13 first place scores on GH3. Many of the scores have been beaten. Also, lots of people are asking about Clone Hero. I have played it, but I just don't have the drive, time, or interest to play it like I used to play GH3. I'm one of around 1% of people directly related to Sweden's great King Gustav Vasa, still living. I'm one of 100k people. Typing in my PC. I can type up to 170 WPM sometimes, and in the human benchmark site that's 1%. Allergies. Gotta catch 'em all. Edit. OMG, I found my people. I'm allergic to mold, dust, penicillin, sulfur drugs, ants, spiders, pesticides, hay, dust, some spices, the cold, urticaria, and raw tomatoes. And unfortunately it's quite severe. Stress just amplifies them all. I had a bad allergic reaction in May and nearly lost my life. The healthcare system was overflowing with COVID patients, so they took a while to process my case and nearly lost my pulse even after the adrenaline shot. Then a day later it happened again, and on the third day again. My lungs couldn't take it, and I had lung failure, so I couldn't breathe without an oxygen mask for 3 weeks and very slowly recovered. I hope I make enough money someday to take care of myself and treat my medical issues on my own. I held a senior reactor operator and pilot license at the same time. I held a second place world record for the Mushroom Gorge time trial in Mariakadwi for 15 minutes. Edit. Thanks for all the replies. Didn't know this would touch the hearts of many. I've been into helicopter crashes and one plane crash. There is only a small group of people who have survived that many crashes. I'm also not a pilot. Survival. I fell 25 feet out of a window when I was about 2 years old. I've also been hit by a car that was traveling over 15/80.4 km/h. I've had 2 near drownings. I was also held hostage at gunpoint for over 3 hours. All if these things happened before my 14th birthday. Writing. Writing the same exact thing with my left hand, except backwards and to the left, while I write it normally, and with my right hand. I can make my eyes shake, voluntary nystagmus, and I can wiggle my ears. It was a lot more impressive when I was 7. I had pancreatic cancer last year. Out of 10,000 patients they normally find 100 who have another form of this cancer who kill a little slower, like in 2 years instead of months. I was one of the 100. Out of those, normally 15 can have surgery. I was one of them. Out of those 15, some die and some come back to basically normal life. That's about a 0.07% chance in all. I'm still one of them. I should be dead by now. Walking. I have cerebral palsy, and it was not known whether I would talk, walk, or do anything. Now, I'm getting a degree, have a job, and I'm a full-fledged adult. I was born in and live in Finland. I'm sure I'm in the 1% of wedding attendance. I started as a wedding DJ when I was 18. For several years, I was doing 40 to 50 weddings a year. I ended up doing DJ, photo, and video at my business in Vegas. For several years, I was a part of at least 250 weddings a year. Sometimes 2 to 3 a day. My record was 7 ceremonies in one day, the 11th of November 11. I retired from weddings at 44 years old, so 26 years in total. I estimate I have been/worked at well over 2,000 wedding ceremonies, probably closer to 2,500 to 2,600. Interestingly, I've only been a *PARTICIPANT* in 2 weddings, mine as the groom and my best friend as best man. Being 6 feet 1 as a woman, the weather up here is 39 degrees Fahrenheit with a light breeze. Being deaf. Only 0.22%, roughly 600k people, across all age groups in the US are deaf. More than half are over the age of 65. I've been profoundly deaf since birth, so I'm in an even smaller percent than 0.22%. LMAO. Source: performing musicians who can play the complete *WELL-TEMPEREDCLAVIER*, books 1 and 2. The Well-Tempered Clavier is 2 sets of preludes and fugues in *ALL*24 major and minor keys for keyboard by J.S. Bach, BWV 846-893. According to my step counter, walking. Not even kidding, I manage a warehouse and walk 10 to 15 miles a day at work. Apparently this is more than 99.3% of users. Turns out the one thing I'm exceptional at is the one thing almost everyone can do. Yay.